Hi everyone! This little tutorial is going to help you navigate through our course space. So let's get started. Okay, so this is what the course looks like when you first enter it for the very first time. So you're brought to this area under what's called the Start Here content button. These are content buttons over here on the left. Now, once the course is underway and everybody's checked into the course, you'll no longer be brought to this page initially. When you log in, you'll be brought to an announcements page. And that's where I'll post announcements of things going on in the course. Very important. Make sure you're checking those. I'll also be sending those out in an email to you. So make sure I have your email address on file here in Blackboard, because that's where I'll be emailing you from. Now, you've already entered this Start Here area because you've read the welcome letter and accessed this tutorial. So make sure you've gone through there and you've read the welcome letter and understand what's expected of you there. Scrolling on down, you'll definitely want to check out our Getting Started course materials. So this will have what you need for the course. So for example, here is your lecture material that you'll need. Now, if you are trying to link your Mastering Biology software, which is required for this course, if you're trying to link that from outside of this course space, you'll need this course ID number right here, or whatever your course ID number is for your course. And if you're trying to do it from within Blackboard, you'll be going to Tools, and you'll find this link here that says Pearson's MyLab and Mastering. So if you click Pearson's MyLab and Mastering, and you scroll down to where it says Mastering Biology Course Home. When you click on that, you'll be able to follow the prompts and actually purchase your Mastering Biology software here online. If you run into any trouble, shoot me an email and I can help you out. But also calling the Pearson helpline is going to be valuable to you. Okay, let's go back to the Start Here information. So once you've gone through that, this one is extremely important. That, of course, is the course syllabus. So you'll want to make sure that you have thoroughly read the course syllabus and understand it forwards and backwards, because this is my contract with you. Now, I do reserve the right to make changes to it, but this is what our plan is for the course. So it includes everything that you'd normally find in the syllabus, including the grading policy, the course, any dates that we have off, for example, and what's expected of the course. Now, I've given little quick links here so you can click on one of those and very quickly get the information you need. I also up here have downloadable versions, so you want to check those out. And then, very, very important, if you scroll down here, are your course schedule and checklist. So there are quick views here so you can see how the course is set up. So notice I've broken the course into 6 learning units. And notice that we'll be tackling 2 of these learning units at a time. And you have a big chunk of time to complete everything in those units within that time frame. So you can go at your own pace, but make sure you create a calendar for yourself and stick to it, because you're not going to always get reminders on due dates. So notice, for example, both units 1 and 2 are due by this date over here. So on this particular example, it's February 23rd. And these are all the chapters in the book that are covered in those units. You have to read the book. So I say this every term because people don't seem to hear me on this. To do well in this course, you need to study your textbook. My job is to help you get into the textbook with the extra video tutorials I provide you, and the assignments and the links I provide you. But you really need to read the chapters. It's part of being a major student, and use the other stuff, my online lectures, etc., to supplement what you're learning in the textbook. So make sure if I've assigned you a textbook chapter, you read it to be able to master the material. That will really help you do well in the exams. Notice as a hybrid class, our exams are taken in the testing center. So you have several days to take it, but make sure you're actually paying attention to when the absolute drop-dead deadline for that test is, because there are no makeups. You can't make up the test if you've missed it. You have all those days to take it. Tests are closed book, of course, so make sure you've mastered the material before you go into the test. So if you follow along this will help. We also have a course project. That's a genetic disorder YouTube project, and you'll find information on that project in the learning units. I'll go over it in a sec. Notice that has a due date as well near the end of the semester. And our final exam is cumulative. So the non-cumulative part comes from units 5 and 6, and the rest is all cumulative of the course. So don't forget the material once you have taken the test. All right, so within the learning units, this is where you will find the actual content of the course. We're going to start with the first 2 learning units, and you'll see it'll remind you of the due date for that learning unit. And if you click the learning unit, you'll see the objectives for that unit there. And if you click it, you'll see that a series of folders, and you should try to go pretty much in order of these. I'd actually probably read the text first and then go to the learning lecture units, or lectures, but it's kind of up to you. So if you click that, you'll find lectures that I've created, which are on YouTube, as well as lectures from other professionals in the field. So those will help you out, but again, are not a replacement for the textbook chapters. I have my own PowerPoints that go with my lectures. I've also posted the actual textbook chapters PowerPoints that came with the publisher. So that might help you to follow along in the chapters as you're reading if you download those. Going back to the textbook, it will tell you, okay, for example, for this first unit, read chapters 3 in the textbook, and you can click here and it will bring you right to that e-text. So now the hardback cover of the book, the hardback version, is optional. Some people like to have an actual textbook in front of their face, but the e-text is required. And then we will be having homework assignments from Modified Mastering based on that textbook. And so this will tell you which chapters of questions to do. It's all open book, open note, open website. And then you click here, and that will bring you to a calendar in which you'll find out, when those chapters are due. They're due at the end of the unit. And you'll just click them and take those assignments. And as soon as you take them, you actually get up to 6 tries per chapter. So that'll help you learn the material. And you can have your textbook right there while you're doing it. And then the highest grade gets sent directly into the Blackboard gradebook. So it's really nice. Now keep in mind, it could take up to 24 hours for Blackboard to populate the most current grade. So don't freak out if you don't see the most current grade in there. Just be patient. Let's see, what else? Going back to the learning units here. Notice that every unit has what's called a focus assignment. And this is an assignment that I've created that will help you focus in on some of the main principles of that unit and master some of the material. So you can see, for example, for Unit 1, we have a chemistry scavenger hunt. And so when you take this assignment, you'll see a little ruler and pencil here. You just click on the link. It'll tell you when that assignment's due, how many points it is. And if you just type in your answers on a Word sheet, MS Word document, you can then upload that document by clicking here, or you can type your answers directly into a box by clicking Write Submission, and you can type them in there. But I find it easier to just type it on your own paper and then load it up, and that way you have a copy of it. And then when you're done, you'll just hit Submit. And that's how that goes. So that's how you'll submit assignments online. And then when I grade them, if you did it in a Word document, it'll pop right up and I'll grade it and write some comments in maybe and put in your score, and you'll be able to see it in the grade book, which you can find under Tools. Okay, what else? Going back to the unit here, we get to the most important part of an online course, and that is the discussion board, which I call the Bio Chat Cafe. So this is where we will interact with each other. It's the most important part of an online course because otherwise it becomes a correspondence course. This is an online classroom, so we're trying to replicate the kinds of conversations that would happen in a real classroom. So you can either access through clicking here or clicking the BioChat Cafe link right there. And if you click it, it'll bring you to your first discussion board of the course. And for the very first one, I've given you a tutorial that helps explain the discussion board more. Notice that you're required to have at least 3 posts. 1 original post in which you're responding to what I post to you, and at least 2 responses to classmates' posts, and they can't all be on the same day, right? We want to keep that discussion going. So I give some little tips in this first one on things to consider when replying to your peers. We want to encourage people and also give them some constructive criticism and really chime in facts, but also your opinions so that we can keep this going. So for example, for this first unit, you'll click on Read Me First, Cyber Gurus, that's me, post to you. And often I embed little videos in here for you to watch. And anyway, so you want to read my post to you, watch any videos there, and then hit reply. And that way you can reply to my post, and then someone can reply to my post, and then reply to your post, etc. You get the idea. So anyway, this is the nuts and bolts of our online course. I hope you enjoy it, and I can't wait to see you online.